Hello, what is going on, guys? Hockey Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of 1917. So 1917 is directed by Sam Mendes and stars George McKay, Dean Charles Chapman, Mark Strong, Richard Mann, and Benedict Cumberbatch. The story is about Will Schofield and Tom Lake, who are basically sent to try and stop the British invasion from ever happening because they know about how the Germans are planning to basically ambush them and basically try and kill off part of the army. So they try and go up there to try and stop them from attacking while kind of looking for Tom's brother. The story is very good. I mean, this is obviously based off a true story from World War I, and honestly, this definitely made me learn a lot more about this whole event. I mean, I didn't really know much about this event. I do like World War One and trying to look at it, but I didn't really know much about this event in it. And this movie definitely does explain a lot about this whole event, how these characters are going on a whole mission to try and stop them from a Union invasion, what they have to go through just to get there. And they do a very good job kind of showing how they do that and using enough of sources to put out a whole consistent story. Structure was done very well. I mean, it pretty much made up the whole story. I mean, the first act pretty much starts off the whole thing. They kind of figure out that they go on this mission, and it doesn't starts out the movie that way. And I think it does a great job doing that, and it kind of continues in the second act where they're going through no man's land and a bunch of uncertain brands just to try and get there, as well as whole events that's going ended up happening. And it does a very good job kind of showing the whole way that it took to get there. And in the third act, when they finally get it to where they're attacking the Germans, that is where the kind of whole climax that ended up happening, and the way this movie ends, of course, was a very satisfying way to end this movie, where he ends up finding his brother, and they end up just kind of saying there. And I do like how this movie ends. They do a very good job with that, and I do think this whole structure is done very well. From being kind of connecting each act and really feeling like one consistent story and feeling like it movie is done very well. Pacing is very good. I mean, this movie's almost 2 hours long, and it honestly feels like it goes pretty quick. I mean, it's the right runtime for it, as this movie does feel like it's complete and that they did enough with it. And they do a very good job pacing it out to the exact right time that it needs to be, making it feel like it should be that long, so it isn't really boring. And Rose did a good job with the pacing. They did a very good job with Will Schofield's character. I mean, I learned a lot about him, something you really didn't know much about him. And I definitely learned about how he was determined to complete his mission, how much he really cares about the British Army, as he goes all the way across Nome and land and travels very far just to stop this whole attack. It's just something they do a very good job with. And also, same thing can be said about Tom Lake, just his whole determination and his whole friendship with Schofield. I mean, it is also something you learned a lot about. I mean, you do see how they bond together very well, and even go in this mission together. And when Tom ends up dying in this movie, I mean, it's just really sad, to be honest. I mean, that is in summary like that, and so that kind of happen. And they do a very good job. They kind of show his friendship and making it sad, having to witness it right in front of his eyes, and just showing how wartime is. And I do think they did a very good job with that aspect of the whole characters. The acting is fantastic. I mean, George McKay as Schofield does a very good job. I mean, he really feels like the character. Just each line he delivers really feels like he needs to be in this, and really feel like he wants to be there, as he just really looks like he's determined for the role, and it looks like He kind of carries the movie scenes as just his whole line delivery just feels really fluent. He looks like he wants to be there, and it does a great job with that. And I think we said about Dean Charles Chapman, just his whole delivery is on point in nearly every scene. It doesn't really feel like a character. And then Benedict Cumberbatch, for as little as he is in this movie, did do a great job as General McKenzie, as he is only in like one scene. So, and in that one scene, I thought he did a very good job as he still really felt like the character and did do a very good job kind of like delivering the lines and just overall did a great job in his role. The action is really good. I mean, you got that one scene where Schofield's kind of trying to run out like a German sniper. That was a really fun scene to watch, and I do really like that scene as it does do a very good job kind of like showing Schofield and just how he's kind of determined. As it is kind of like really show what he's trying to do, and it's just a whole action thing that feels really intense, and it really does feel like wartime, and that you're like actually in it. I gotta make it feel that way. And even there's like the whole climax where, of course, he's trying to stop them. That's when you can like see them starting, and he's kind of running across the feelings, and like seeing that it's just really intense to watch. And even like the whole scene I mentioned earlier with Blake Tanya, I mean, in that scene, it's very intense. I mean, you could see him stand, and then that guy who stands shot by Schofield. I mean, that's just a really intense scene, and I just really like how this movie does the action and make it really feel like you're kind of in it with the cinematography in it. The score is very good. I mean, the first act didn't really use that much, but like the second, third act they use a lot, and I do feel like each time they use the score, it does really feel like the moment. I mean, and they do a very good job with all the song choices and kind of like performing the score, making it feel like it's in the scene. Like just the way they end up doing it, just kind of feels like it's you're actually like into the moment. And I mean, they do a lot of pretty slow songs because it's not exactly the happiest movie. So I feel like they do an overall good job with it, and like making you feel like the moment. And then even with it's like there was some fast moments too when they needed, and each time they use it they really work for the specific scenes that they're in. Cinematography is just pretty much fantastic. I mean, oh my god, I mean, it's just like so perfect. I mean, it's kind of seeing the way they use the camera angles to like follow them. It's just really good how they end up doing it. I really like how they kind of go around and moving it the camera pretty far, like show the whole landscape of the scene, and I feel like it's close enough to like show them as well. I mean, just kind of like showing a landscape of wartime. I like the way they do that, and just the way that they move the camera along with them, so you can like see them. They do a very good job with them, and making even in actions like a cinematography, and just the way that they make them follow main characters just really work out well. And each time they use like hearing, it really works. I mean, it's mostly like whiteouts that follow. And I really think those work for their scene. Them, it really makes you feel like you're inside of wartime. I do like it when movies kind of make the audience feel like you're inside of the film, which I feel like this movie does a very good job with. Editing is very good. I mean, it's like it really feels like it's complete with each scene. As when it comes from camera angle to another, it feels smooth. They do it well enough to make it feel like it's complete, and they do enough with the editing to really feel like the movie it felt complete and really feel like anything was missed out. And I do overall feel like they did a very good job kind of making it feel smooth and making it feel complete. Set designs are very good, and I think they did a very good job in like replicating certain places in World War One, like whole no man's land place. I mean, that looks very good. I mean, it pretty much looks like the way it is in real life. I mean, they do kind of like show how it's pretty much nothing, and then a whole blockade. And I do think they do a very good job in this the whole look to the trenches. I mean, they do resemble what they actually looked like in real life. And I do think that they did a very good job kind of designing all those trenches, and just did a very good job with it, and just making it feel like in World War One, and really doing their best replicating all those World War One areas to make them look like they actually are the World War One places. Overall, 1917 is just a masterpiece, and it's not only one of the best movies of 2019. And it kind of sucks that it didn't come out of my area until 2020. Otherwise, it could have been in my ranking in the top 3 spots. And I'm gonna give 1917 a 10 out of 10. That was my review of 1917. What are your thoughts on 1917? Tell me in the comments below. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.